Dragunov is back.
Fatu is beaten up.
And the MFTs come face to face with the Wyatts. Hello, welcome to Wrestle MSX. I'm Michael.
I'm Sally. I do have a bit of a broken voice today, so bear with.
After watching Seth get mauled by Breaker from Raw, we begin with Nick Aldis, and he informs us that the match between Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu is now a #1 contenders match. Cue Clark Kent. After saying Seth has some business to handle, Rhodes says he's here to handle SmackDown business, then mentions Drew and Jacob before saying they're on the road to Saturday night's main event. This was quite a dull opening.
We then head backstage to see Solo and the MFTs cross paths with Rey Fénix, who's having some publicity photos taken. Solo asks the cameraman to take some photos of him with Fénix telling him no. The MFTs, of course, beat up Rey, with backstagers then intervening before the MFTs go on their way.
First up tonight, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss against Sol Ruca and Zaria in a Women's Tag Team Championship match. Blake Monroe is at ringside, and I am mentioning this because it will play a part. Flair does the Flair corner bump over the rope and landing on the apron before taking out to both opponents and bringing in Bliss. Zaria also comes in and overpowers Bliss, with the fight then heading to the outside as we break.
Zaria's still in control, tagging in Sol, who dumps Bliss to the mat before Bliss dodges a double team. Bliss finally manages to tag Flair, who chops both opponents before suplexing Zaria, crotch-chopping Ruca and covering Zaria for 2. Ruca comes back in and drops Flair with a German suplex before going high, but Flair catches her and goes for the figure 4.
Sol kicks her away, sets up and lands the Soul Snatcher, with Bliss then making the save on 2. The 4 then brawl on the outside, with Ruca then getting into an argument with Blake Monroe. Remember? Flair takes advantage and chock blocks Ruca before the pair head back into the ring, where Flair locks in the figure 8. Ruca taps out with the Flair-Bliss connection marching on, and I'm glad because I am enjoying it. I do enjoy them doing what they do.
Backstage, Jacob Fatu crosses paths with Cody Rhodes. Fatu says when he's dog-walked McIntyre, Cody will know Jacob Fatu is all gas and no brakes.
We'll hear from Aleister Black and Zelina Vega, with Black saying he's never felt more accomplished than with his wife, adding that they are the balance. Please no more husband and wife matches.
We see the Miz backstage speaking with Aldis when Zayn walks in. Aldis doesn't want Zayn having a match after what happened to him last week. He got beat up with Nakamura by the MFTs. Zayn isn't bothered, still wanting to offer his open challenge, so heads to the ring. We cut back to the Miz smiling, and I think I know what he has in mind.
And you are correct. Next up, Sami Zayn versus The Miz. And yes, you guessed it, The Miz is attacked on the rampway by Carmelo Hayes. So, who answers Sami's open challenge for the United States Championship? The Forgotten Man, Ilja Dragunov. They exchange blows, with Dragunov taking Zayn down with a knee before we break. Coming back, we find Zayn covering for 2. The pair exchange blows again before Zayn lands a tornado DDT.
Dragunov lands a knee and covers for 2 before Zayn could land his haluva kick. They exchange German suplexes before another 2 count from Dragunov, who then goes high. Zayn dodges the attack and then covers for 2 after a Michinoku driver. We move to the apron where Zayn drops Dragunov on the middle rope just as we break. We come back to a senton from Dragunov and cover for 2.
Dragunov then no-sells Zayn's chops and lands a superplex before looking for the H-bomb. Sami counters, then looks for the haluva kick, which Dragunov counters before covering for 2. A Constantine special levels Zayn, with Zayn then countering Ilja, landing a blue thunderbomb and covering for 2. Zayn lines up a haluva kick, but then outwalks Solo, which temporarily distracts him.
Dragunov runs at Zayn, but he hits an exploder, then lines up a haluva kick. Dragunov has other ideas and meets Zayn halfway across the ring, with a torpedo Moscow and then follows up with a H-bomb. Dragunov covers. Dragunov gets the 1, 2, 3. After the match, the MFTs attack the pair, with Rey Fénix coming out for the save. Only he doesn't, as he gets beaten up too. Solo then reminds us that they run SmackDown, vowing to make his family champions.
The arena then goes black as we see a video on the Titantron from Bo Dallas. Dallas says, "Seek and you shall find," with of course the Wyatts getting on the apron behind the MFTs. After a stare off, the Wyatts enter the ring, but Solo waves his men down. Just interrupting here, I'm a bit disappointed that Zayn has lost.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Dragunov's just come back. Obviously, they wanted to push him. He got injured. He's been out for a year, so they say he's back. I understand it, but I just think
I've been enjoying his own challenge.
think Zayn put on some fantastic matches.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's a shame now. I mean, now he's just, I don't know what he's going to get involved in. He's just going to be hanging around now.
Yeah. Backstage, Kathy Kelly asks Tiffany Stratton if the loss to Stephanie Vaquer will set her back. Stratton says no, with Kiana James then interrupting. James says Stratton lost because she didn't join her and knew she didn't have what it would take. Stratton says James can't do it in the ring. James says she can, with Stratton saying, "Let's have a match next week then."
Whoa, can't wait for that one. We see the Motor City Machine Guns from earlier celebrating their 1-year anniversary on SmackDown. They're interrupted by Los Garza, which inevitably leads us to our next match, Motor City versus Los Garza. We get a dive out of the ring by Sabin, with Angel gaining the upper hand as he tries to get back in the ring. Shelley then gets double teamed as we hit a break.
We come back to Sabin fighting off Berto and getting a 2-count cover, with Berto then getting a 2-count off a sit-down powerbomb. The crowd are dead at this point as Berto gets another 2-count cover. After more outside shenanigans, we end up with Motor City landing Skull and Bones, with Shelley then covering Angel for the win.
Backstage, we see Axiom talking about needing to make an impact when in walk DIY and Candice LeRae. Ciampa puts down all of the tag teams, but aside from that, nothing really happens. Gargano then asks where he can get a silly mask, with LeRae pointing at Axiom. Axiom says, "You want to disrespect me like that? Why don't you try it inside the ring?" So we're going back to all these tag teams fighting again, which I'm sure we had near the start of the year towards WrestleMania.
Yeah.
We've done this. I don't want to see this again.
Final match of the night, Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre in a number 1 contenders match.
Or is it?
Fatu's music hits, but then we head backstage and find him bloodied and trapped under some equipment. We head to a break, come back and see a smirking McIntyre head out. Drew gets in the ring and asks the referee to raise his hand as the new number 1 contender, with Aldis then heading out.
Aldis tells Drew it better not be him that did this, with Drew saying he had nothing to do with it. Cody Rhodes then heads out calling for enough, saying the crowd wanted a number 1 contenders match, but let's give them a title match instead. The QB then heads to the ring in full street dress and starts to brawl with Drew off into the crowd as we hit a break.
We come back to the pair still at it at ringside when they enter the squared circle, with the ref calling for the bell. So, last match of the night, Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre for the undisputed WWE Championship. The brawling continues in the ring with mounted punches from Rhodes before a back elbow drops Rhodes for a 2-count cover. A future shock DDT nets another 2, with Drew then chopping Rhodes at his convenience.
A headbutt puts Rhodes down, but a fight back sees Rhodes land a Cody cutter before we head outside again towards Timekeepers. Drew heads over to Rhodes, but Cody hits him with the title, with the ref then calling for the bell, ending the match. The fight though continues, with Rhodes looking for Crossroads on the announcer's desk, only for it to be stopped by backstagers. They help Drew to the entranceway, but Cody has the last word, lands a crossbody from the top turnbuckle. SmackDown goes off the air with a pair staring daggers at one another.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't expect you to say much because I know you've got to save your throat, but it was a bit bland. I don't want to see the tag teams again. I've done with that. I don't want to see that anymore. Okay, the Wyatts aren't involved because they're feuding now with the MFTs, which we suggested a long time ago when it was the Bloodline. Not the OG Bloodline, but Bloodline 2.0 or something. So I'm not interested in that. I did enjoy the women's tag match at the start with Bliss and Flair. Still continuing. Love that. Love Fatu and Drew and Cody's coming out saying, let's not... no, this is what the crowd want. Yeah. I do enjoy that. It's a shame Zayn lost. Good to see Dragunov back. But, I don't know. It's a difficult one for Michael's moment of the night. As I say, it could be a match, a line, a look, a promo, something funny, interesting, serious, quirky, something different. Just something that catches my eye. Obviously, it has to wait until the end because if I do it halfway through and it's something that happens at the end, it's kind of a spoiler. So Michael's moment of the night, it could have been Drew smirking as he came down because I just think he's funny. Although I also enjoy the MFTs and the Wyatt squaring up. Again, you're like, who's going to kick off? But I think they're going to wait for Bo Dallas or Uncle Howdy to be in the ring before they start, not the full match, but before they come to blows. But I think for me tonight, it was Rhodes just coming out and saying to Drew, let's go. Let's just have a fight. Yeah. This is what the crowd, they want a title match, let's give it to them. That's what I want to see from the champion.
Not see Rhodes.
Yeah, not hiding at the back or just like, it's nothing to do with me. I like the fact that Rhodes just come down, let's get on with it. Yeah. Finished. Done with that. Love it. I like that attitude. Love it. Yeah. If you want to disagree with me or even agree with me, please leave something in the comments below.
And don't forget to check out our Musings video with thoughts and opinions of the last week of WWE. A new one drops every Wednesday.
Once again, thank you very much for watching.
And we'll see you Tuesday for Raw.